All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. This is going to be a lesson on Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. And I was reading Isaiah chapter 3. And then I know that it's relating to the times past in certain parts and the times present, right? But still, we can apply all of Isaiah chapter 3 to now, because what Isaiah chapter 3 pretty much goes into is how our nation had all the beauty that was within it removed, man. Right? So the men of wisdom, the men of might was removed, right? And then the women's beauty was also removed because the men was not around to protect that beauty, right? And then when you go, onto Isaiah chapter 4, it speaks about how in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man. And that's what's led me to this bit right here. But Isaiah chapter 3, like, is applied to both the times past and now, because it speaks about the women's heads being bold, right? And nobody can't say that all women are not bold, man. Nobody can't say, especially the so-called black woman, nobody can't tell us that she ain't bold-headed, right? Nobody can't tell us that out of all the women on this world, that she ain't the main one that's bold and doesn't have any hair, all right? Nobody can't tell us that. So I'm going to read this. This is Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So in that day to come, right? In that day to come, all of these women that are proud and that they've got a lot of stuff to say, right? All these women that are proud and that they've got a lot of stuff to say. And Salakia, man, there's some guys. What the fuck are these people doing, man? You see what I mean? Like, no matter where we go, man, we always have to be like vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked, man. All right, this is even at night time. All right, this is Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So the destruction that's going to come upon this world is going to be so great that it's going to cause for all of these proud women to seek after men. And it's going to be those particular men that Yahweh has chosen that are remained from the destruction, that are going to decide whether they want to accept those women or not. And in a lot of cases, they're going to refuse these women, man, because these women have not had the necessary humility right now in order to even be worthy of receiving a man of the Lord. They're going to have to get that great Israelite reset and come back in the next go around, man, because they ain't worthy to get it now, because they've been ledettes. Like, as it stands right now, right? I can see a proud woman right now as I'm talking, man. Some drunk ladette lass walking right now as I'm talking, and I'm just sitting like outside by where I live, man. Right? So lucky, man. Let me carry on. Verse 1, it says here, I'm reading from the Bible Hub commentary. This is the pulpit commentary, right, from Bible Hub for Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. I'm only going to read this part. It says, 7 women shall take hold of one man. This verse has been called, this verse has been well called a companion picture to Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 6 to 7. As there in the time, in the evil time of God's judgment, the despairing men are represented as taking hold of respectable man to make him their judge, which I guess that's true. That's what men are going to do, but this isn't what Isaiah chapter 1, 4 verse 1 is talking about, right? But let me carry on. Man, this world is bogged out, man. Like, as I'm doing this lesson, right, there's four people outside on the corner of a street, right? There's three men and one woman, and they're all drunk, and you already know what's up with a situation like that, man. If there's three men and one woman, you already know that she's probably doing something with more than one of those guys, man, right? And that's what I mean. And this woman is an Edomite. All of these people are Edomites that I'm looking at. But these people are going to be a lot of these women that are like this of our nation, they're going to be expecting that they're going to be somehow joining onto the men that have right now been catching hell. When that's going to be, they're going to be getting that access denied, man. They ain't going to be getting that access to these men because they're not going to be worthy, man. They're not going to be worthy because right now they're doing stuff like this. But Salakia, let me go back to this. It says 7 women shall take hold of one man. This verse has been well called a companion picture to Isaiah chapter 3, verse 6 to verse 7. As there in the time of God's judgment, the despairing men are represented as taking hold of a respectable man to make him their judge. So now the despairing women take hold of such a man and request him to allow them all to be regarded as his wives, and that's what these women are going to be doing, man. Right? When the famine of the word comes, loads of people that right now have heard, like here is the people that we say, all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Makar Kodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, right? The people that we say that we refer to as our apostles, or we refer to as our elders, or we have respect for as our teachers. Here it is that these people have got brothers and sisters and uncles and aunties in the world, sons, maybe daughters, right, of a certain age, that they've got access to these people if they so had it. They had access to these people on a regular basis to talk to these people, right, once these people had this knowledge, but they rejected them. Right, they didn't even want to talk to them, but we might actually would like to have access to these people to speak to them and really learn more about being a Hebrew Israelite. But we have to get it through the lessons online. But some of these people have got access to have it right there in their face. But they bun out their family like, nah, he's lost his mind, the boy wicked and all that. You know what I mean? He might hypocrites coming with all that fake ass Jamaican shit when we're not Jamaicans anyway. We're Benjamites. Or we're not Jamaicans anyway, we're Israelites, right? We ain't African Americans, we're Israelites. We ain't Mexicans, we ain't Chicanos, whatever. What else do these Latin tribes call themselves, man? Holmes, Hernandez. We ain't Vatos, right? We ain't Chief Wolf's Claw, you know? We're Israelites, man. We're Israelites. Let me carry on. Man. Taking hold of a respectable man to make him their judge. So now the despairing women take hold of such a man and request him to allow them to be regarded as his wives, right? And request him to allow them all to be regarded as his wives. There has been such a destruction of men. There has been such. I swear, I'm reading it as it says, man. But it doesn't sound right. There has been such a destruction. Men are become so scarce that no otherwise can women escape the shame and reproach of being unwedded and childless, right? And that's what's getting ready to happen, man. So many men are going to be getting absolutely decimated out here, right? Let me use some other terms that brothers use. It's going to get medieval out here, right? Shit's SHTF, right? The SHIT is going to hit the fan. It's going to be evil out here. People are going to be getting jacked up. All these terms, right? All of these things are going to happen, right? And these people, these women, man, they're going to really just be looking stupid out here, man, because right now, I'm still looking at these particular people, right? And that woman's got all of these three guys. I can clearly see that she's got them all wrapped around her finger. Maybe she might be related to one of them or whatever, but she's got them wrapped around her finger either way, man. She's able to get access to their funds or whatever, right? She's able to get access to their attention. She's able to get access to everything that they have, right? Without even necessarily having to do anything for them in return, right? And she's just living it up. She's just living it up, man. She just live in her own world, living up, thinking she's living a high life or whatever. 1 second, Salakia. She just thinks she's living up the high life. But these people are going to be catching hell in that time, man. And they're going to be thinking that they can come to certain men. Not these Edomite women, I'm on about our women of our nation. But they're going to be thinking they can come to certain men. And they're not, they really don't get that they're going to be getting access denied, man. A lot of these women are going to be getting told to kick rocks, man. They're going to be getting told to kick rocks because they ain't going to be making it, man. It's going to be the women that are going to be humble, that are already humble now, that are going to be the ones that are going to be found worthy for that. Because what the spirit of the men that believe in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is gradually turning them away from any simpism that they had within them. Any simping that they had in them is gradually being torn away, man. Right? And in the days to come, in the wrath that's going to be around, that's going to be drained out even more. Any type of simping that was in them is going to be absolutely drained out. So then when it's time, these women are just going to be getting destroyed out here, man. And that's what Isaiah chapter 3 is about. It pretty much goes into the men being destroyed and the women. But the end result is that women are going to be really humble and they're going to be bowing down, man. Right? There has been such a destruction. Men are become so scarce that no otherwise can women escape the shame and reproach of being unwedded and childless, right? And it goes on to say, our own bread, which is a quote from the scripture, our own bread. They do not ask him to support them. they are able and willing to support themselves, so they ain't gonna be saying, oh man, he gotta have a good job, girl, and all that. Oh man, I need a ball player, girl. Or they ain't gonna be wanting him to be like Ghost from Power. You know what I mean? They ain't gonna be saying he's too short. They ain't gonna be saying that he ain't, because he ain't 6 feet tall, that he ain't up to scratch. They ain't gonna be asking him what his job is. You know what I mean? How long has he been doing it for? You know what I mean? That interview spirit is gonna be going absolutely out the window. They ain't gonna be like having 10 guys on Facebook, right, or on social media, and asking all 10 of them the same question and playing their own version of Take Me Out, you know, for people that don't know what Take Me Out is, it's like a show where a man comes down a flipping escalator or some kind of lift, and then there's like 30 women in front of him, or 25, whatever, 20, whatever the amount is, 20 maybe, I think. And they all they ask, he has to prove himself to them all, and they can just turn the light off. And then if they all turn the lights off next and they've rolled another one down the lift, that all that shit's gonna be gone. It's gonna be one man that's gonna be questioning all these women and what they're bringing to the table. And people can say, oh, that ain't gonna happen. The whole reason why why the Most High Yahweh has gave all these women this stuff now is to cause for this scripture here to come to pass, because these women are going to have their so-called wealth and their so-called goodies that they've got right now, right? I'll be seeing loads of women on a regular basis driving these nice cars, man. These modern plates on their car, right, with these shiny leather seats and that. I'll be seeing that on a regular. But that's being done on purpose, because them women are going to be supporting themselves in that day, and the only thing they're going to want from that man is for him to say, I'll accept you in. I'll accept you as one of my wives. That's all they're going to require, because they're going to know that that's worthy more than all that trying to, oh, he's got to make this amount of figures a year, or all that BS. Let me read it again. They do not ask him to support them. They are able and willing to support themselves. To take away, rather take thou away, the imperative mood, not the infinitive, our reproach. children were regarded as such a blessing in the ancient times that exactly so these women are gonna go back to that wanting to bear children spirit, man. They ain't gonna be like what they are now, where they're fighting, foaming at the mouth. My body, my choice. My body, my choice. They ain't gonna be on that, you know? Whatever her choice is to do, whatever it is, a woman should just always be able to choose. No, even if he's been born 25 years, her body, her choice. But he's 55 now, ma'am. Her body, her choice. But that would be considered murder. Her body, her choice. You know, these women are bugged out, man. They be thinking still that they've got access to like to abort their child after he's already done been born. He's had his own children now, ma'am. Nah, a woman should always be able to choose. That's what they be saying. So they want to be able to do abortion while the baby's in the womb. Which now I shouldn't have even said that word, man, because you know how this world is, man. But they want to be able to do that when the child's inside, and then they want to be able to have the ability to do it when the child's outside. You know what I mean? They just want to be able to do whatever they want to do, man. They just want to be able to get away with murder, literally. But they think because, well, I didn't pull the trigger, so I'm not guilty. I'm not guilty. You know what I mean? That's how they want to try and spin it, man. But in the time to come, they ain't gonna be on that. Let me read this bit again. It says, children were regarded as such a blessing in ancient times that to be childless was a misfortune. And when you see an old woman, right, once she knows that she ain't getting no men no more, right? Once she knows that her dancing it off in the club days are long gone, you know what I mean? Then all of a sudden, a lot of the time, these women want to become righteous of any nation. They all of a sudden want to start trying to be a bit wiser. You know what I mean? They might want to start getting into herbs and spices then, and they might want to start getting into knitting and cooking then. But when their body was just full of all the soft parts that are supposed to be soft were soft, and all the firm parts that were supposed to be firm are firm, then there wasn't on that. And that's what we saw with the whole Kevin Samuels thing, man. These women was running their mouths, smacking up their mouths, flapping their gums, talking about how the men are not this and men are not that. And these times they're 50 years old. So they're part of the problem. You know what I mean? They're part of the problem, but now they wanted to try and sit down with Kevin Samuels talking about so how do we fix the community and all that when they're the ones that jacked it up in the first place? Once their time of dating's over, they're supposed to be teaching their child, their daughter in particular, how to get a man and treat him well. They're supposed to be doing that. How to maintain a man and support him so that his life can be less stressful, so that he can make more for the family, so that the family can be built up greater, so that your family lineage can be built up. And that's what the whole of Proverbs chapter 31 is about. Proverbs 31 and 10. But anyway, let me carry on this. It says, children were regarded as such a blessing in ancient times that to be childless was a misfortune and a subject of reproach. And doesn't the scripture say she shall be saved in childbearing? These women are going to be wanting to have children so bad, right? That because they're going to know that that's the only way that they can possibly have access to these men. They're going to be like, let me have your children. I'll look after the child and build up your lineage for you. They ain't going to be talking about it's my kids anymore. None of that my kid spirit. They ain't going to be trying to use the children against the weapon as the man because that ain't part of Hebrew Israelite culture. That ain't part of Israelite culture to be for the woman to be able to use the kids against the man and be putting them on no child support. That's a heathen thing. That ain't going to run in the kingdom. That ain't going to be a thing in the kingdom. Because for starters, the woman's mind's going to be right. But the laws are going to be in place so that couldn't happen even if the woman wanted to try and get out of line. He said, Haggai despised the barren Sarai. Hagar despised the barren Sarai. Her adversary provoked Hannah sore because Yahweh had shut up her womb. Compare the lament. No, I'm not gonna read that bit. So yeah. Like I was saying, man. Let me go back up to the top again. Right, I'll read the scripture again. Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we'll eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our approach. And all that last bit of this reading was going into is different parts in the scriptures where it goes into women being able to women wanting to get pregnant, man. Right? Which, considering that's a thing that all women can naturally do, right? A woman should want to do that. That's a thing that all women are supposed to be able to do. And if a woman can't do that, then she feels off. When a woman can't have children, or every single time she's tried to have a child, she might have had a miscarriage or something like that, right? That don't sit well with her, man. So then she'll dive her mind into her job or whatever. And then whenever the topic comes up of children, she'll go quiet, or she'll start trying to bring up money and how much money she's got, what car she's got, and stuff like that, because she knows that it's a thing that she wants to be able to do, and it's a thing that she's supposed to be able to do, but can't do. Just like how if a man's seed wasn't strong to be able to bring forth children, and he was trying to actively have children and he couldn't, he'd have a problem with that. And then even to go another level higher, if a man doesn't have any sons, that bothers him because he knows that his sons is going to really bring back his lineage, because the sons carry the seed, and the lineage is carried through the seeds of man, right? But yeah, this is was just a quick video. Well, I don't know how long it's been, man. Let me see, maybe 15 minutes or something like that. All right, 21. So it was just a video going into Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1 and into the commentary that I read here, because I thought it shows as well that these women are going to be bowing down, man, and it adds a different point of view to what we've already said anyway, that they're going to be doing, man. But this is just to show that even these Christian bug outs and know that this scripture is talking about destruction that's going to happen, that's going to be causing for women to one all be going for one man. Whereas right now, with how these women are, you probably wouldn't believe that they could ever go like that, but they're going to, though, right? Yahweh built their pride up just to bring it down, just like he did to Esau, right? And I'm going to end the lesson there. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Makar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. Shalom.